Hey, welcome back on the Good Morning Artesia radio show. Here we are on hour number 3, the 9 o'clock hour. It is Thursday, the 28th day of April. Candace, did you get everything done in April that needed to happen in April?
Somewhat.
You got 3 days left.
I know.
3 days left.
Ish.
So I have an Incredible story of the day.
Okay, I'm listening.
Brought to you by Incredible Printing here in downtown Artesia. Awesome. I just ordered a bunch of business cards from Incredible. And anyway, Mr. Kingsley, Jacob and Jordan Kingsley took their 11-month-old son, Shepard, to his first Cincinnati Reds baseball game Tuesday night. They left with a foul ball and a viral moment.
Oh.
Mr. Kingsley told his wife before the game he would protect their son if a foul ball came close to their seats, which were located about 15 rows from the field. Then a foul ball actually zoomed in on their destination, or their direction. Shepard was strapped to his father's chest in a baby carrier and was enjoying a bottle when a foul ball popped over the protective net and headed in their direction. Mr. Kingsley said in an interview, when I saw the ball, I was like, okay, this is my time. I got to step up.
This is my moment.
The ball continued flying in the direction of Mr. Kingsley, who was using his left hand to feed his son with the bottle, and his right hand was free. It was coming right towards me, and I was like, I can't not try to catch it, said the 26-year-old Cincinnati resident. So I just reached my hand out. There wasn't anybody next to me, and I made the catch.
Yay.
Of course, the moment was captured on video during the broadcast of the game featuring the Reds against the visiting San Diego Padres. After the catch, Mr. Kingsley held the ball in the air as the crowd applauded. The video has 1.9 million views.
Wow.
On the Reds' Twitter account as of Wednesday. Catching a foul ball while bottle feeding the baby, just dad things, said the Reds.
Just dad things.
So now the Reds gave the family tickets to an upcoming game and a jersey for Shepard.
So, yay. That's fun.
So pretty cool. There's a picture of Mr. Kingsley with the baby.
Oh, and that's a big baby.
Yeah.
That baby
That is a big baby.
I know.
Yeah, so...
Because I'm thinking like, oh, tiny baby, because we've been out to T-ball and stuff, and there's some of the dads that have their little babies, and they're all petite, tiny babies, but that's a baby.
That's a big baby.
Yeah, that's a big baby.
So, and
he looks tall, too, so maybe that's what it is, but
the baby does not look happy.
No.
I'm looking at this picture, and that is a scowl on that baby's face.
Maybe he's scowling at somebody because he's looking off to the side.
It's like, hey, we're getting our picture taken here.
Yeah, like, respect.
So, congratulations to Mr. Kingsley on an incredible moment at the ballpark on Tuesday.
That is an incredible moment.
Yeah. I thought we were going to get hit by a foul ball in Lovington Tuesday night because Joby and I were sitting up on the top of the press box. And they have a backstop, but they don't have a net that goes over the bleachers or the press box. Like here at Artesia, they have that netting that goes over the top. So a foul ball is not going to come crashing on your head.
Right.
It's going
You had no protection.
You have no protection at all. And so sitting up on the press box, we're like target practice for some of these kids on their foul balls.
They're like, okay, I'm aiming it. It's coming to you.
That's right. That's right.
Coming to you.
We fortunately were not the victims, but I have done games in Lovington where it has hit up on that press box and come through the doorway and bounce around inside the press
You're
box.
like, my equipment, myself, like my person.
And to do that, it would have had to come over the front fence, bounce off the fence.
It had a whole lot of ricochet,
and then come down through the opening because that door opens up with the door to the field.
Okay,
so it couldn't drop in.
Right.
So it'd bounce off the fence, come down the staircase, and rattle around inside the press box. So we didn't have one of those moments.
Oh, you have to stay on your toes. They have to keep you on your toes.
Yeah. So, well, you're still alive. You
Yes.
survived the performance.
Yes.
How'd it go?
It went really well. I'm a little sleep deprived, but I'm catching up on all that sleep I didn't have. But yeah, it went really well. People really enjoyed it. Sundays are we usually have like our smallest crowd on a Sunday, but we ended up with 65 people.
Wow.
So there's a gentleman, he now works for the Chamber of Commerce in Carlsbad. His name's JW. And I had been in touch with him in, pandemic years because we were supposed to have Neil Diamond. And he was working with the senior citizens home, and he was going to bus in like 20 plus himself 24 people from Carlsbad to see Neil Diamond. Well, of course that didn't happen because COVID hit. We had a thing with the performer and all the stuff, right? So he called me and he's like, can I use those tickets for the play? And I was like, oh, if that's really what you want to do, I am totally fine with that.
Yeah.
And so at first it was like 13, and then he's like, I have 22.
Wow.
I'm getting 22. And so he wants to continue to kind of open it up to bring senior citizens from Carlsbad to our shows, not just the play, but to shows in general. And I think that's just wonderful.
Yeah.
He's like, if he can find a bus big enough, he will put them in it and he will bring them. And I am so for that. And we had the best time. They were like, this was so great. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's so cute.
Yeah.
So, and people laughed. I think it had to be either the Saturday matinee or the Sunday matinee. I'm on stage as Delphine, and I'm giving it to Cecil Pickens, telling him giving him what for, and someone in the crowd goes, "You go, girl, you tell him," and I couldn't not laugh. It took me right out of the moment because no one had yelled at me before. People had laughed and been like, "Yeah," but no, they're like, "You go, girl, you tell him," and I was like. I had to look away, and then Cecil's Donald Dutchover is laughing, because I'm laughing, and I was like, what was I supposed to be yelling at you about? So we had some fun moments too, where people really just interacted, and they loved what we did, so that made it all the better.
Yeah, well, that is fantastic, and I think it's great because I'm sure you're open to other groups and wanting to work with other groups that want to come and get a group ticket for a performance or something.
Yeah,
like that.
So we do, generally people come in 2s or 3s, but if they call and let me know that they're going to, because we don't put it on the website, but if they have a huge group, I'm willing to work something out for a large group to come and enjoy the show.
Yeah. Well, that is great. So now that the play has happened.
Yes.
And everybody's seen it. They're
Yes.
going to go see it. So were there ghosts in the Buttermilk Hotel?
Melanie Dipple and Maria Almanza had come earlier in the months to do the radio show for me as their characters. And while I was here, I never mentioned them because me as Delphine never sees them. So that was the sisters, Emily and Sarah Rake, were the ghosts. The whole entire time.
Okay.
The only person who saw them in their physical form was Donald Wayne, and Luna Mooney, the one who speaks in rhyme, you never understand what she's saying, was the only person to really truly sense them.
Okay.
So she actually, although she's crazy, kind of is real. One of the real paranormal people there. Madame Zolovich, she breaks character and goes into her actual New Yorker accent, so she's a total fraud.
I wondered about that when she brought that crystal ball,
There was a bowling ball,
right.
which was great. And then, of course, Finis Witless is kind of he's trying to do all the the paranormal thing, but he's never really had a success. And so they all totally completely fall for the fake stuff that JH, not JA, has put on in this show.
Right.
And then for the rest of us, it's just Donald Wayne who's actually interacted with them. He's the only ones that physically interact. So it was really funny and also hard to act like you're not really seeing them when they're on stage and hope people get that you're not seeing them.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. So I get it now. I get what the point. It's kind of like Well, anyway, I don't want to.
Yeah, so
to anything else,
yeah,
but that
so
does
Donald
make
Wayne
sense.
gets his tincture of medicine, and he's acting all funny, and we're like, "Where did you get that from?" And he's like, "Oh, from Miss Sarah, Miss Emily, in room number 13." And I'm like, "No,
Yeah.
we don't have a room number 13 even."
Yeah.
So so we get to see, and then the ghosts do appear at the end of the play, which was really fun.
Cool.
So we had a great time.
We had no indication. I mean, I had no idea that they weren't.
Yeah, they weren't, and that's why I purposely only mentioned the characters I knew about while I was in character. I never mentioned the Rake sisters on purpose.
Yeah, because you didn't.
I didn't know that they
there.
exist. Yeah, Delphine doesn't know. I know, but Delphine didn't. Yeah.
Well, good. Well, I'm glad people enjoyed it. Have the comedy players started thinking about
The next thing? So the comedy troupe will be doing their lunchtime specials during the summer.
Okay.
That's Wednesdays at
the brown
noon.
bag,
Yeah.
lunch or whatever.
Yeah, bring your lunch. It's free. We are working on the schedule. So when I get back from vacation, we'll all meet and discuss what we want to do. And then our fall performance will be in November.
In November. Okay. Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Now, you do have in May,
Yes.
which
two
actually
things.
starts Sunday.
Yes.
You've got a couple of events coming up in May.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
The first one is the 21st, Saturday the 21st, which is Comic-Con, City of Champions Comic-Con. And we're still needing food trucks and vendors, who are interested. And so we'll have the schedule of events is actually now up on the website. So you can go to artesiaartscouncil.com, go to the actual event tab, go to the page.
You want to try to do that, Jeffrey, and bring that up while we're talking? So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have the laptop here anymore. I've turned it over to the producer.
Yes,
so,
yeah.
So, yes, while Candace is, I was going to say Delphine. Well,
It does seem to fit me, doesn't it, Delphine?
so while Candace is talking about it, if you want to go and bring it up on the screen there. So
Yes.
he'll find it here in
He'll
just a
find it,
second.
yes.
So you can actually see the schedule for Comic-Con.
Yes.
So you have some panel discussions or some tabletops?
We do have panelists. Their times will be added to the schedule, but it's listed there so that they'll be on the stage. I'm going to move some things around. Panelists will be on the stage, game demo, and like people who have games will be in the lobby. And then our vendors will be like pop-up shops down Main Street.
Okay.
And along with the food trucks and stuff, we'll have an area for them.
Okay. And so we're encouraging, a lot of folks really do get into character.
Yes, we do have a cosplay competition that will happen at the library. So bring out your best cosplay. And then starting tomorrow, it will be open for sign-ups to participate in the comic book pop art contest.
Okay.
That will be you'll have from now, I think, until the 11th or the 12th, the 29th to the 11th or the 12th to sign up and submit your artwork.
Okay.
And it has to be within the theme to be applicable. $5 per entry, limit 2 entries, and we'll have them up in the gallery, and it will be a public vote.
Okay. Well, that sounds awesome. Of course, my only knowledge of Comic-Con is from like Big Bang Theory.
Yes, I have actually been to many a con. I do like to go. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm working on my cosplay costume. I have a list of cosplay that I need to cultivate and put together.
I think the weirdest one that I ever encountered, Mike Winters and I went up to Albuquerque to do a basketball playoff game. And we wound up at Uptown.
Okay.
Because I had to go to the Apple store. He didn't, but I did. And then we went to get something to eat, and there was the Hello Kitty van.
Yes.
Was there.
Yes.
And I guess this was a thing. I didn't know this was such a thing. And I mean, there were 500 people all in line to go buy something.
Yes.
Trinket or whatever.
From the van.
From the Hello Kitty truck. And I mean, we're talking little kids all the way up to adults who were all in their Hello Kitty outfits.
Well, even if you get to the bigger ones, like I've been to the one in Arizona, Phoenix, and they had like lined up in front of the center where the people who actually also have like the cars. So there was the Mystery Machine, the Ghostbusters, like people had taken vehicles and souped them up to look like replicas
from the
shows.
movies,
And so So,
Awesome. Wow.
Yeah. And one person, they had this amazing costume that had it was like they were a steampunk crow, but they had like the headpiece on, the wings moved, like all of this stuff.
Yeah.
So people do some really, really cool things.
Well, you'll have to invite, speaking of steampunk, you'll have to invite Will Smith because he was in that
Wild West
movie,
yeah.
which was kind of steampunk.
I think he's on the down low right now. So I don't know.
Think he is.
I think he's on the I think he's
But
under
this
the
might be a good
radar.
event for you to kind of come back out, and we'll make sure you don't. Well, I was going to say don't slap anybody, but
Yeah,
that
is a key factor. It's a family-friendly event, so there is no slapping. we solve our problems with words.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. So I don't know if Jeffrey was able to find the website to bring it up on the screen. I haven't seen it pop up,
yes.
but it's artesiaartscouncil.com.
An event tab.
Event tab.
And then the actual event is listed underneath there, and you can click it. And
you'll see the whole the scheduled things. And I know you're working with the library.
Yes.
They're doing some things for this one too.
So they'll have there will be like a miniature painting workshop that happens for quite a bit of the day, and then they have like a wound workshop and a like wound making, and then
this is not solving a wound.
It is creating a wound, which may or may not be great.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on the kind of person who learns to do it, like, oh, I'm wounded, and people freak out. Oh, it's just fake,
Yeah.
So we have that.
What makes the best blood?
Yes. So hopefully no one actually gets wounded that day because we might have patrons walking around looking like they're wounded.
Yeah.
And then.
Now, have you ever been to the San Diego one, the big one in San Diego?
I've not been to the San Diego con. It's on my bucket list.
It's on your bucket list, but you have been to a couple of.
Yeah. So there's a good one in El Paso.
El Paso. Okay.
And then of course my first one was the one in Phoenix, and that's a pretty big one.
Yeah.
And of course then we have Galacticon that happens in Roswell, and then there's another
UFO
one.
Festival.
Yeah. There's one I think that's coming up soon, maybe around August in Lubbock.
Okay.
So because my friend was telling me, since we can't go to El Paso because the El Paso Con was this past weekend when I had my play, we could go to the one in Lubbock. So,
okay.
So there's a few in the surrounding area if you're really like wanting to dip your toe in before you pay for the big con.
The big one. Now, there's another event in May.
Yes. And that follows the 24th, which is a Tuesday. It's Outrageous is coming back.
Outrageous. That's outrageous that Outrageous is coming back.
Yes.
So now, are we talking about throwing paint all over the floor and doing some crazy stuff like that?
Yeah, and I actually found out that if you are a fan and you bring something that you want splattered with paint, when you go visit them on stage, they will do that.
Oh, wow.
But if you're a fan. So they kind of also do like almost the steampunk-esque sort of thing. They have a band that sings and performs while their artists dance and paint pretty much on these huge pieces of what you might think like almost colored butcher paper, like large, and they make amazing artwork
while the music is going on. Okay.
Yeah.
And you have no idea what it's going to be or if it's going to be anything.
Yes.
But then at the end of the performance you go, wow, they did that.
And then they bring them out all on stage, and then patrons can come on stage and take pictures with them, meet the cast, and do all of the fun stuff with them.
Okay.
And that is 6 p.m. on the 24th.
Okay.
Adults, I want to say adult tickets $45, K through 12.
There's the Outrageous.
Yes, adult is $45, K through 12 is $25, and that's 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Yes.
Okay, so that Outrageous, and do they bring their own band?
Yes.
They bring their own musicians?
Yeah, they have their the actual musicians, so playing guitar, singing, performing.
Okay.
And then them painting.
And painting. Now, it's not like a Gallagher thing. You don't have to like the people in the front row have to wear.
No, you don't have to. No, they're not going to fling it off the stage, but it will be on the stage, in which we will have to clean up later. But that's fine. Yes, so like we had to clean up after the dog show. It's all the things. Yeah. Everything is self-contained on the stage.
Well, that's what performance art is,
yes,
right?
Yes.
With all that. Well, that is great. So tickets are so the tickets for either the Comic-Con
Comic-Con is free.
is free. Okay, Comic-Con
unless
is free.
you want to be a vendor. and then
Okay.
you have to do the application.
So here's your schedule of events.
Yes, those are the
Whoa. Where we go? Okay.
Oh, that's a vendor contract.
Vendor contract.
So
okay.
because we are working with the public library, that's a city organization, so everything that happens, vendors, food trucks, they have to sign a contract.
Sure.
So the liability thing. So there is a contract and there is an application fee.
Okay.
Someone yelled at me because of it. It's $5.
They yelled at you because it's a $5 vendor fee?
Yeah, the contract fee. Yeah, application fee. I have to handle the paperwork. And on the food trucks, we're not
Over $5?
Yes. So at most, if you're a vendor, you're going to pay $30.
Because you're going to pay $25 for the space.
Yes.
And $5 for the application fee. Or the processing
I got scolded for an application. $5, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I did.
People.
So anyway, just to pre-warn.
People, come on.
There's an application fee that's non-refundable for $5.
Yeah.
And the booth fee is 10 by 10 for $25.
Okay.
And so that's because I'm also handling most of the paperwork.
Yeah. So it's $30.
Yeah.
$30. Hey, Jeffrey, can you go back to the schedule for the Comic Con, the Artesia Con on there?
Back.
He did. He knows what to do.
Go back and scroll down.
So there's the City of Champions Comic Con.
Yes.
And there is the schedule of events right there. So you've got the miniature painting storytime room at the library from 11 to 2:45. Storytime 11 to 11:30.
In the meeting room.
In the meeting room. Mask making workshop in the project room from 11:45 to 12:45. Cosplay competition 2:45 to 3:13. 3:13. That's an odd ending time.
Yeah, it's just for the judges.
But if it is, it is. You know.
Yeah. And then
you've got the wound making workshop that you were talking about.
Yes.
And then the winner announcements in the meeting room at 5. And then at the Ocotillo on that tab is the panelists.
Yes.
Which you're putting that panel together on the stage at the Ocotillo. Pop-up vendors, as you mentioned, the game demos and playing tables, 11 to 4 in the lobby at the Ocotillo. And then you've got your pop-up art competition. Voting ends at 4 o'clock.
Yes, because all of the announcement of winners is at 5 at the library.
At the library. So, well, good. So you can go to artesiaartscouncil.com, schedule of events.
Yes.
Click on the City of Champions Comic Con, and all the information's there. And you said
anything changing or anything that we do, we will update. Yeah.
Okay.
And then also, once we get a full list, because sometimes it's hard until like the day of, you don't know what food trucks are coming, we'll update it with the food truck vendors as well.
And then the panelists as well, as who you're going to have on the panel.
Yeah.
So, well, let's see. I'm trying to think of people here locally that have worked on movies.
Well, they can do anything.
Like
do you make your own games? Do you DM? Are you a dungeon master for Dungeons and Dragons? Do you anything that you feel like maybe you're a little bit of an expert on, or you would like to talk about? You can let us know to be a panelist, and also panelists get a free booth space to be able to talk to people or sell their books if they're like an author of a fantasy writer. So it's not really just limited to gaming or whatever. If you're in the comic world or the kind of nerd world and you have something interesting you want to talk about, you can.
Excellent. So get a hold of Candace.
Yes.
At the Ocotillo Performing Arts Center, and that way you can say.
Or if you're going to call the library, it's Jessica.
Jessica. Okay. Ask for Jessica. So, well, good deal. Anything else?
No, that's what's coming up most immediate. Soon, also on the website will be the information for our 1920s Gala.
Okay.
Which we're very excited about, which will have a speakeasy night, which is 18 plus. 21 plus is for speakeasy night because we'll have drinks and games, but we are going to incorporate a family-friendly night into that week as well.
Okay.
And then we'll end it with the Saturday being our murder mystery brunch.
Okay.
And so once we have all of the location
Details
information, that will be up and ready for purchase. So we're pretty excited.
But right now you can go buy your tickets for Outrageous, and you can read up on the Artesia City of Champions Comic Con coming up. So, Candace, thank you so much.
Oh, thanks,
Appreciate
Gene.
you coming in. And now I'm glad I know what the about the Delphine, not the Delphine, you're Delphine.
I'm the Rake sisters, the ghosts. Yes.
The ghosts, yeah.
And Hank Treadwell.
All right. We're going to open up the Zoom room, get Aaron in here. That's coming up next on Good Morning Artesia. You've changed thousands of diapers, cut off hundreds of crusts, played hours of peekaboo and duck, duck, goose. But you'd do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Sandy